Good morning. My hair's so tall, it's not even in frame. Ooh, it's hair wash day and I didn't do it this morning. I'll do it tonight. So for now, my hair is out of the way. It's so big. Good morning. Welcome back to the corner. My name is Lee. I am a crafter here in Pittsburgh, PA, and this is where I sit and talk to you about whatever I've been making lately. And I have a few things to update you on today. I even have a sewing project started, so that's very exciting. I sewed all yesterday afternoon. I also have a little bit of a life update at the end of the episode today. So if you have been interested at all in the changes in my professional life, my job work life, meet me there and I'll tell you all about what is going on. All right. I'm feeling fidgety today. It is afternoon already. I just ate lunch, took a little bit of a lunch break. I did some work this morning and now we're here. I wanted to get work done early today so that I could film and then sew for the rest of the afternoon. But I'll update you in the new stuff because I will be busy for the rest of the week. So exciting. All right, let's start with knitting stuff. Knitting. What's first? There are a couple of things. It hasn't actually been all that long since I filmed the last episode. I think I filmed the last episode last Thursday, so it's only been like 4 days since I filmed last. So not a whole lot of things. I mean, there are some things. All of the projects that you saw last week, I haven't touched all of them. There are a couple of them that are still sitting here from the last time I filmed. So I'm only going to be updating you on the things that I have touched since then. And there's also another project that I'm not going to show you yet because it is a secret for now. So that one I won't show you. All right, we're going to start here in my Barbie bag from Junk Yarn. This did not get very much work done on it, but I did pick it up, so I want to mention it. And in here I have my Mio My Tea, which is a pattern from Park Williams, Park and Knit, and it is just a basic t-shirt. And I am knitting this with some of the people from my local yarn shop. We're doing a knit along for this, and I am slowly but surely working my way up the body on this thing. I am about, how far? Let me measure real quick with my hand. Oh, I am at almost 7 inches for the body. And this is what it's looking like. Because it's bottom up, so since I'm just working a stockinette tube for now, it's not gonna look all that exciting until I start getting some of the until I get to the armpits basically, and I can start doing some shaping. But I did do another couple of inches on it, I think, since you last saw it. It rolls a little bit at the bottom, so it looks shorter than it is, but I did just measure, and I'm almost at 7 inches for the body. And I want to get to 8.5 for the body length before splitting for sleeves. So we're splitting the front and back. I am knitting the size, what size? Large, which is a 40-inch bust. It is meant to be worn with 0 to 4 inches of negative ease, and that gives me 2 to 4 inches of negative ease depending on what size I am at the moment. I tend to fluctuate a little bit. I have gained a little bit of weight, but 4 inches of negative ease at my biggest, 2 inches at my smaller size. And yeah, it's looking super cute. I am knitting this out of Noro Kakigori in the color 6 Akashi, and this is what is it? It is a blend of 50% cotton, 30% silk, 10% viscose, and 10% polyamide. So it's great for summer, and I can get this entire tank top out of one ball for up to my size. I think you may need more yarn if you are larger than an extra large size for this. I think that is it. But at the very least, you can get up to a large and with one ball. So it's very exciting, and it is so pretty. Oh my god, I love this. This is not the most fun thing to knit on, both the pattern, you know, being just a stockinette t-shirt isn't all that exciting, but also the yarn itself being half cotton. It is a pretty dry feeling cotton, kind of squeaky, so not that great, but I want the finished object so badly, so I am muscling through. I'm getting really antsy about all the whips I have and how I'm not finishing anything. But you know, it's it always happens. There are ups and downs, so that is that. That's my first whip. No FOs this episode, if you couldn't tell. No FOs. Next whip is in my s'mores bag from Mountain State Stitches. And in here is the muscle burra that I'm knitting for my friend. Their name is Brian. And I have been knitting on this. I went out and about with Brad last Friday and we took the bus and went to a couple of places, and one of them was a brewery. So I had like quite a bit of like a bus knitting and brewery knitting time while we were out and about that day. So I got a good chunk of this knit that day, but I've also picked it up a couple of other times. And I am now this far. I probably got a good like 3 inches done on it since you saw it last. But like I said, this is a gift for a friend. I am knitting the adult large size on its fingering weight yarn on US 2.5 needles, which are 3mm. And I am using the color Fraser's Ridge from Long Dog Yarn. And this is on the twist sock? Bounce sock? I can't remember. The 2-ply base. I also have my beginning of round stitch marker on here. Is from my friend Rochelle of Sassafras Knits, because all of my stitch markers are from her, it feels like. At least all the ones I want to use. And that's that. I'm knitting it to pattern, no changes. Except that I will probably be knitting it longer than the pattern calls for, because I want to use up as much of the yarn as possible. And that's that whip. The next whip I have is in this pretty generous sized quilted project bag that I made for myself. And in here is my test knit for Alicia Plummer, my Sunday noon sweater again. And this is not going to look very different from when you saw it last, because it's just at that point where I haven't hit another milestone yet. So I'm still just like working on the front of the sweater. And I probably only got like an inch or so knit on it, so it's just not going to look that much different. But I am still working on the front of the sweater here. This is a bottom-up batwing sweater. Hem is flipped up. And I'm just working on it. Slowly but surely. This is knit out of a recycled yarn that was a Banana Republic sweater. It is 100% wool, this olive color. And for the 2-row stripes in between, I am holding a Surrey silk with that yarn double to make a nice color, very subtle color difference and a nice textural difference. And the Surrey I'm holding is Farmer's Daughter Fibers Odang in the color Olive Oil. And it also gives it a really nice little bit of variation in the color. You can see some of these like dark spots here. That's from the Surrey, because it is hand dyed and variegated. So I'm also muscling through this one because I want the finished object. It is so pretty. I mean, it's also a test knit, so I have a little bit of an obligation that way, but it is beautiful. I'm so pleased with how it's looking, for sure. I probably could have knit on this a little bit more this morning because I was feeling it. I wasn't frustrated or anything. I was kind of feeling it this morning, but I had to stop and get to work this morning, so yeah, I had things to do. And that's that. What other whips do I have? I feel like I'm zooming through this one today, but I do have an exciting new sewing project to talk to you about that I will probably do a good bit of talking about. So let's finish up on the knitting and crochet. I have one crochet project to show you as well, but for now I'm going to show you my last knitting project, then we'll do the crochet project, which is also a new cast on. And I have in here, in my unicorn bag from LeighKnits, from Haley of LeighKnits, and I have started for the third time my sample for my new sock design. And I've come up with a name for it and everything, and it is, I've already done tester call. My testers are already working on it. I think one of them is like almost done with her first sock already, flying through it. But these are my pudding pipe socks. And here's a little preview of what the pattern looks like, but pudding pipe socks. And I still have in here the last sample I had started. It's free and loose now. But this seeded rib texture here reminded me a lot of the fruit of the pudding pipe tree, and I just thought it was the cutest name. So these were the pudding pipe socks. And this is not the final sample. I had to make some changes from this one and have therefore started finally my final sample here. And I'm this far down down the cuff. So not very far. I just cast it on yesterday. But I am using, this is the same yarn I'm using. I just started a new one. But this is a sock set from Holly Press Fibers, and it is called Excessively Fond of a Cottage. And it comes with this really nice pale pink contrast color. And I love the way the main color is pooling here. It's very, very cute. So delicate and nice and light for spring, and goes perfectly with the bag that it's in, because why not? And that is my other knitting whip. The only other one I have touched. I really need to finish some things. I think I'm actually gonna have to sit down and kind of like come up with a game plan, because between my samples and my test knit, I have a lot of things going on, because I have this sample going and I have two shop samples for the yarn shop going at the moment, and I have another one coming down the line. So let's talk about shop samples. One of them I can't show you. That's the secret one. It is using a custom special yarn that we will be having in the yarn shop at the end of the month for local yarn shop day. So I'll show you that when the time comes. But I also started a sun hat shop sample. This is a crocheted sample using Wool and the Gang's Rah Rah Raffia. And I'm using the color Dune Green, I think is the name of this color. Do I have the tag somewhere? I don't. I think that's what it's called. I think it's called Dune Green. And I have finished the crown of the top of the hat and am working around for the sides of the top of the hat. And I am using the recommended hook size, the 4.5 millimeter. And I've knit one of these before, and the top, the crown of it came out really, really, really big. So I wanted to make sure I got this one completely right this time. I did start in the center and do about a third maybe of the crown using a 4 millimeter hook instead of a 4.5 millimeter hook, just to make sure that I didn't get a weird mushroomy top like I did my last one. And I think it turned out great. I think it turned out just fine. So yeah, that's my shop sample. And like I said, the other shop sample I cannot show you yet. I love it though. It's actually my Hand of Thetis sock design. That's the pattern I'm knitting. I just can't show you the yarn yet. All right. That's it for knitting and crochet whips. Let's talk about my sewing project. I have started my first shirt. I have been wanting to sew a button-down shirt for a while, but I'm kind of intimidated by it, and you know, getting started is the hardest part. So I finally decided to just break down and buy a pattern that I knew I wanted to make and go through my stash and pick fabric that was really, like, most of my fabric stash, the fabrics that I have enough of to make garments, I feel really precious about them. Like, they're really special and really nice, and I want to make just the right thing. But there are a couple of fabrics in my stash that are like vintage, and though they're really special and really beautiful and wonderful, they don't have a lot of like monetary value. I didn't spend a lot of money on them, so in that regard they're a little less precious in my brain. So I bought the pattern for the Gilbert top, which is a pattern from Helen's Closet Designs, and it is just a basic button-down shirt. You can make it short sleeved or long sleeved, and it's like a real 70s vibe. You can make it cropped or full length, and the cropped version also has a tie option where you can tie it in the front, and it's got a nice like camp style collar. And I picked a fabric out of my stash, and this is a vintage fabric that I got in a yard sale. And let's show you what I got so far. It's not done. It's not done at all. But yesterday, I started this yesterday, and I got, really does have whiskers all over it, and I got a good chunk of it done. Isn't this fabric insane? I got it in a yard sale. It is a vintage fabric from 1977. It was still marked with all of its manufacturer's markings and stuff. 1977 fabric. And it's a really nice sort of mid-weight cotton, perfect for a shirt that I don't want to wear anything under. And I didn't do a ton of like pattern matching at the top. I just, or like on the seams, I wanted, on the back specifically, I wanted to make sure that the pattern, like that these sections lined up and then this section lined up, but I didn't really bother with the pattern itself matching. And I think it looks fine. And I finished the collar, and all I have to do is do some finishing around all of the tie and the buttonholes and stuff, and I need to put the sleeves on, and then she'll be done. I love how this is turning out. It's so fun. It definitely is the most 70s thing I've ever seen. This fabric is wild. It cost me $2 for enough, I think I had 2 yards of it. $2, 2 yards, 1977. I also need to sew up the sides. Like, it needs to be put together. But that's what I did yesterday, and I love it. I'm so excited. I'm pretty pleased. There are mistakes on this thing, like, for sure, but I am pretty pleased with some of my finishing here on my, like, around my collar. In my pocket, it's got a pocket, which I did pattern match the pocket. Look at that. It's like, I pattern match the pocket. Right here you can really see that it's all one. I love it. I'm so proud of that. And we got a big old pocket, huge. Can fit 4 packs of cigarettes in there if you're in the 70s. I don't smoke, but you could if you wanted to. All right. I guess that's actually all I want to say about that. There's not a whole lot. I was thinking about talking a lot more about it, but I guess I won't. Oh, I did want to tell you what size I'm making. I am making the size 18 because I don't want it to be a fitted shirt. So I'm super excited about this. It's got like a facing on the inside top. So many things about shirts. So wild. That's that though. That's all I'll say about that. All right, that's all I have for whips. I do have some acquisitions to show you and future cast on plan, because one of the acquisitions is for a project that I have planned. So let's talk about that. I placed an order from Hobby. I hear people say Hobby, but I always thought it was Hobby. I mean, like, this is a hobby, but anyways. I placed an order from them because I wanted to get a reasonably priced cotton yarn for a top for my friend. She wanted cotton. I love cotton, and finding fingering weight cotton is a little more difficult. It tends to be like a DK weight or a worsted weight. And Hobby had really good prices. So I ordered, and they had the biggest color selection. I had a very specific request for colors for this top, so they fit the bill. So I ordered from Hobby. And since I ordered from them, I also threw an extra thing in the cart for myself, and I ordered a skein of the Silly Socks Disco sock yarn. This is a 75-25 wool polyamide blend. I love commercial sock yarns because they're not always just merino wool, so they have a more rustic feel and they tend to hold up a little bit better. So I got this for contrast color for things. I knew it was 100 grams, but it is, I don't know, it's big, it's a big boy. And it is the color 8. I don't know the name of the color, but it is color number 8. And it is this gorgeous lime green and yellow barber pole color that I think will be super fun knit up as a contrast color in some socks. I love it. I love it so much. It's going to be so much fun. And that was just a little bonus thing I threw in for myself. I think this was like $13 for a 100-gram ball, like for a 100-gram ball. Not bad. Not bad at all. And then the project I have planned, the real reason I placed an order from Hobby to begin with, is for a stripy turtle tank. Now, I've mentioned several times that I am planning on making myself a second stripy turtle tank, and that is still in the plans, but I wanted to knit a top for my friend in Chicago, the partner of the friend who's getting the muscle burrow. I wanted to knit her a top. And I asked her what she would like, and she was interested in the stripy turtle tank. I showed her pictures of a couple of different things, and that was the one she wanted. And she wanted it out of cotton. So I ordered this like jewel toned rainbow. It's looking a little bit more vibrant on camera than it is in real life. It's a little more jewel toned in real life. Like, this is not red, it is definitely a maroon color, and this is darker. This is definitely darker. That green is picking up neon on camera, and this is more gold rather than just a true yellow, and this is more of a pumpkin-y rusty orange. These are all looking so vibrant on camera. Maybe if I hold them close you'll get a better look. A little bit, but these are the stripe colors. Each ball of this yarn is 25 grams. This is the Friends Cotton fingering weight. And I got just one ball of each of the contrast colors. And I got the colors 16, 93, 104, 43, and 26. And then for the main color, I got 3 balls of the main color, which is 75 grams total. I got the color 75. 75 grams of color 75. And this is, yeah, it's looking like it on camera. This is a pale blue, like very pale, icy blue color. And I gave her lots of options for the main color of this too, and I was like really hoping she'd pick the pale blue because I loved the combo of the pale blue with these jewel rainbow colors. And she did, and I was very pleased. So this is the total combo. This is going to be so much fun. And she already sent me her measurements and everything. It's going to be great. And that's it for acquisitions. Not a whole lot going on over here. I have been really worked up, I guess, about my life changes that have been happening, and I guess I'll just go on into those for you. I updated you just a few days ago about the job that I had applied for that I was really hoping to hear back about. I had my second interview with them, and on Friday after I filmed last, I got word that I got that job. Claps, I'm very excited. So I got the job that I was hoping to get, and it ended up working out for the best. They were trying to figure out if they wanted to hire 2 people or just 1 person, and they ended up just hiring the 1 person. That is me. So I will be working more hours than I was kind of worried I wouldn't get as many as I needed, but I will be working more hours, and I am also able to continue working at the yarn shop on Fridays. So I will be able to, between that job, my new job, and the yarn shop, be working basically full-time hours, which is very exciting. I have officially announced to Patreon and to my Instagram that I am closing my illustration business. I've been a freelance illustrator for the past 6-7 years now. It'll be 7 years this year. And full-time illustration for 1 year. And this 1 year has really shown me that there is a huge difference between having additional income and all of your income relying on basically your mental health. Like, I have a lot of extreme ups and downs, and creativity for me is very specifically correlated with my mood, and having that affect my success at work is very stressful. So creating art for a living, for work, is great and works for lots of people, but I just don't think that it's healthy for me to do it. So I feel great, huge relief to know that all of my creative energy is now free to go wherever I want it to go. If I want to draw or paint, I can draw or paint whatever I want with no pressure, not having to worry about it being a product, not having to worry about it being like an Instagram post. And if I decide that I don't want to draw or paint for an entire week and I just want to sew, then I can do that without feeling guilty about it. And it's going to be the best thing for me, I feel like. And the new job that I just got is also in a creative environment. I will still be getting lots and lots and lots of creative inspiration, and I will be in the creative field. I just will not be doing it at home by physically painting. So I'm very pleased, I'm very excited. I go in tomorrow for my first day of paperwork and training and stuff, and I think I'm going to be training for the next 3 days at least. So basically this week will be my first week of like full-time work outside of the home since 2015 or 2016. Wow. That's wild. That's all I have today though. I feel a huge weight lifted off of my shoulders now that I know what I'm doing with my life, at least for the foreseeable future. That's probably why I had the energy yesterday to sew for like 6 hours straight. That's all I got today. Thanks so much for joining me today, y'all. I always love and appreciate you. Also, I'm not going anywhere from here. This is a thing that I do for fun. I love sitting down and talking to you. So the fact that I am going to be working I'm going to be working outside of the home now should not affect this channel at all. So don't worry if you were worried. I was a little worried, but no, I'm going to still find time to podcast. Every once in a while I might miss a week, but I'll do my best. We'll see how it goes. if I only podcast every 2 weeks, then you're still going to be getting plenty of content because I'll just be posting longer episodes. It's not like I'm going to not be knitting during that time. Thank you so much for joining me today. I love you. I appreciate you. And I will see you next time.